like a boss right now. Talk down the man right now. Oh, yeah. Feel like the man right now. Your girl on my line right now. Oh, yeah. Shorty ought to been my, me. Oh, yeah. She love me in the gray sweatpants. You never left, yeah. Feeling like a boss, I done made it. Get so like a spaceship. I swear my life is amazing. Blowing money, no hesitation. Dimes, no basic. I know these be hating, but that's what made me feel like in the real life. Dripping all the sauce in the good life. You shine, I shine, and ain't nobody gonna take my home. I just wanna be a boss. I will never ever fall. I woke up and I'm feeling like a boss right now. I'm gonna hold it down, I swear. I roll up and I'm smelling like a right now. I do this for my rounds, oh yeah.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Oakland Raiders. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, partner, that was not a good omen right there. The very first play from scrimmage, and you just want to give yourself a nice, simple throw and hopefully get yourself into a rhythm. That is the last thing you're expecting. And now you put your defense in a tough spot right from the word go.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. A strong running. Down to about the 22 here. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10. Now Gordon on 1st down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Here's the option going left on second down, and maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. From the gun on third down, Murray. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
They run with Breida. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
Steps away to his left. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And a big 32-yard play on third. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now Jackson on second down. And this is caught by Watkins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. This is Breida. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll give it to him up the middle, and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll run for it with Lynch. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Lamar Jackson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders have taken the early lead. And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Murray. And that is incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Murray. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Back now to begin the 2nd quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Chargers here with a football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. On is the Chargers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Taken in at the 22. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start on the ground with Breida. And now running right through him. Room to run inside the 40. He's at the 30. 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Catanzaro now for the extra point. This time, the extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
All right, here we go.
Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to third down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go.
Operating from the gun. Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Raiders have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Breida. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. They'll run with Lynch. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Marshawn Lynch, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
second down, there's the option going left. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
The Chargers on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, Murray, open man, it's Allen. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Allen's first catch, good for a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there, perfectly executed crossing route. On 1st and 10, Murray, he's airing it out for Williams. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Murray. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Murray now. And it's complete. Henry. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And right side, Henry's got it. And he's taken down inside the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Murray. A bullet throw, but incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Lucky 56.
Boston Scott, his first carry. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
You got him. You got him. You got him. That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Back to the ground, this time Lynch. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here's Jackson to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And the Chargers coming out on the field now. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Now a play fake here on first down. In trouble in the balls, and he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
Oh, look at that. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Going top shelf for Smith, and got his man complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They go play action now. Jackson lets it go for Nelson. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Jordy Nelson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And a rout is on here in this first half. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Chargers. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing on first down. Murray out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On first down. Murray. And the Raiders have got him. Reggie Ragland in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Back to throw. Murray. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Reggie Ragland. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Here's Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Jackson now. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 48, the 30, 20, 10. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six and a Charger TD. And the big boy, dare I say, he showed some athleticism there.
Oh, without a doubt. And you know what else we saw on that play? Why they do more and more ball drills in practice. They want everyone proficient with catching the football and being comfortable, because you never know when a big play like this will happen for a big man.
Now, post-game locker room, does he get an extra drumstick?
He was going to get that anyway. He may get the whole spread now.
Yeah, put some gravy on there. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
So
this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Yeah, this is taken at the 23. Oh, and now he bowls him over. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. And they'll go on the ground. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift. Give the center a lot of credit because, for the most part, he's got big defensive linemen over his face all game long that he's got to try and block and protect his quarterback and create space for his runner. In this case, he did a really nice job of communicating and executing.
Smith catches left side, and he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. First target, first catch, and a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. From the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it, yes.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And he's going to go down again. Brandon Mebane with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Returning, it's Benjamin. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Off the play fake. Murray. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film section tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Murray, hard throw, incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is taken at the 18. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They start the drive with Lynch. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Leopard!
On 2nd down, Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Or call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
You got tight right there.
Watch it now, Barney!
There's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Back now in the East Bay. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Murray. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. This quarterback now just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a 1st and 10 here. From the gun, Murray. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
2 first downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll go option to the short side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Murray. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Hurry up, here we go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And now it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal?
All right, here we go. 3-19.
They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
Right,
They come out here in the eye. Back to throw. Murray. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Chargers, they're able to cut into that deficit. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line. The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. 3-19! They'll run it. Here's Lynch, and he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Here now, Johnny Townsend. He's been terrific so far. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
All right, now look at 56.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. That is incomplete. Allen, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Murray. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And they work this out past the 25. 23 yards on the play.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yard.
Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
Well, that drive wasn't a case of wanting to put points on the board. It was needing having to, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, didn't get it done, and now you look at the situation and the point differential, 2 scores, pretty much game, set, match.
How about the takeaway, though, huh? How about those defensive guys?
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Jackson. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Jared Cook, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
They come out here in the and he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. This time, Jackson will throw it. Buying time to his left. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chargers offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Just get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. But a Chargers player was able to fall on it, and they'll keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Raiders, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll get another home date next week as the Jaguars will come to town. Meanwhile,